So today I wanted to take you through the Contour GPS bullet camera. There it is in all its glory. Basically this is a 180p high definition video camera that has a 135 degree wide angle lens. It can be mounted onto your helmet or onto the bike itself, and as you'd expect, provides the ability to record footage while you are riding. I've owned this particular camera for about a year and a half, 2 years, and during that time Contour actually went bust. So a number of videos that are uploaded to the website using this this camera disappeared, unfortunately. But Contour did then get rescued, I think, and now they've re-established support for the camera, and they've actually started developing a few extra nice bits and pieces, which I'll talk about in a minute. From the camera perspective itself, on the back there you can see it's got a power button for turning it on and off, and a lock to be able to lock the back case so it can't come undone. However, if you unlock that and slide it up, you'll see it exposes the back of the camera there, and within that you've got the battery itself, and you've got the micro SD card which just pops out, and there it is. I've got an 8 gig card in there. I think it supports up to 32 gigabyte if I'm right, but no more than that. And on top of that, it's got the USB cable there for transferring content off the device onto your computer. The other thing, this is a very first generation one. So when Contour launched this, it didn't actually have a sticker here, but underneath here is what they call the hidden button, which is the Bluetooth button. Now at the time they didn't put a Bluetooth button there because the firmware of the camera didn't support it, but now you can get an Android or an iPhone app that will allow you to live view the content or what you're seeing through the camera on your phone, which is a nice little addition. To start recording, it's very simple. You just simply flick this button here forward, and you can see that that exposes the record image there. Now obviously I need to have this turned on. If I turn the camera on, you'll see the lights come on. You've got some red lights there which allow you to align the camera in terms of making sure that it's flat if you are mounting it at an angle. If I then hit record, you can hear a bleep, and I'm now recording, and you can see the red button has come on and this footage is now being recorded. The nice thing about this particular model is that when you're riding along and recording footage, it actually stores your GPS location coordinates as well as you're going, which means that basically when you get the playback, you can see a map of where you were riding at the time. And I've done a bit of a screen grab here just to show you what that looks like in reality. From a battery perspective, the Contour battery lasts about an hour, hour and a half at the most, but obviously because of the storage capacity constraints, you're not really going to be recording for that long anyway, because you're going to run out of storage quite dramatically. The other thing I found in practice, which was a bit fiddly, was this this particular slider. It's quite a sort of hard action to start recording, and when you're riding along, if it's on your helmet for example, the sort of having to struggle with your helmet and to actually make that click actually became quite difficult. The footage itself I think is pretty good. I think, as you can tell from the clip itself, it's fairly clear, nice high definition footage. One of the things I did struggle with was getting an optimum position on the helmet for the camera mount, so that when you're actually riding along and you've got your head down, which is obviously the way you ride, you kind of need to take that into account so that the camera itself is facing forward, like that, rather than being pointing at the sky. So it did take me a bit of trial and error. But what I basically did is I ended up mounting the helmet bracket about there and having the camera like that, so that as I put my head up, you can see it's pointing at the sky. But in reality, I'm probably more like that when I'm riding. And then obviously I've then got the camera on the road where I want it to be, rather than sort of pointing at the sky. Other than that, obviously I think I stopped using the camera for a while when the Contour did go through its issues in terms of going bust and stuff like that, which was slightly annoying. So I ran out of faith with this a little bit, which is not great given how much it did cost to buy. And more recently, I've invested in a Kickstarter campaign for something called a Ride Eye, which I'll be reviewing separately, which is more of a black box for cyclists. So rather than it sort of being an action camera capturer, it's more of a sort of collection for if you have an accident or a near miss, or you want to capture something on camera. I'll explain that product much better when I do receive it. They're shipping I think this week, but I suppose my consideration on the Contour is I like the idea of the GPS and the map that it gives you. It does add an extra element to that. I'd like it if the battery lasted longer, and I'd like it if I could store more capacity on here. As boringly enough, it might be that I wanted to record a whole event and then using time motion, speed it up and actually sort of see the whole event transpire through the camera, through some video editing and stuff like that, which doesn't really feel possible with this. So this is it is more of a sort of short clips collector as opposed to anything bigger than that. So probably from a ratings out of 10, I'd probably have to give this about a 6.5 out of 10. It's great to see that Contour are continue to invest in this. So there's been some firmware updates, and as I said, it can now connect to your iPhone or Android device, which adds a nice feature. But battery life and storage capacity do let it down. So thanks for watching. Do keep an eye out for our other videos. We'll be adding a lot more video reviews and things like that over the next few weeks. And if you've got any comments, please do comment, and we'll be sure to respond. And thanks very much for watching.